It is a great show. It's got. I think it's what it's got is it's kind of got everything for every age really, and it's hopefully what we've done with it. We've taken a classic show and maybe given it a little bit of a contemporary feel, you know, and but it's like Sam says, it's so much more fun playing a bad guy. I mean, like, when you've driven a bus around for 2.5 years singing "We're all going on a summer holiday," you kind of relish playing a bad guy, you know. And all the parts I've done in the past have been the stereotypical good guys, and so to play the bad guy. And it always helps to have like a mate on tour, and Sam and I have become good mates through this tour. And we're having a bit of a laugh, aren't we?
We are, mate. We are. It's like Darren says, it's funny this show because, you know, normally in a show you get kind of the stereotypical parts in there, you know, the good girl, the good boy, the bad, you know, that kind of thing. But the leads in this show, they're all nasty people. You know, the difference is with Darren's part, Billy Bigelow, is he's got... He's a really good to hard kind of guy, but he's just got a nasty streak through him. He doesn't know how to handle himself, you know. His fists rule his brain, you know, because he's not that bright. Yeah. Kind of like typecast, really, isn't it? But
talking of which, so there I was, stood in the corridor waiting for Darren, and somebody's been winding you up already, haven't they?
Yeah, everybody winds me up. No, yeah, I'm just security guys.
Bloody journalists, they're always on a hook, aren't they?
Yeah, you hang it on a hook. Can't park my car.
What was wrong with the guy?
Eh?
Does he not know who you are?
Well, maybe it's the bandana, you see. It's the bandana.
Do you know somebody said that once in a theatre? They came up to the stage door and they said, "Excuse me, sir," he said, "could I ask for your autograph?" And he said, "Don't you know who I am?" And the fella shouted, "Excuse me, mate, there's a fella back here who doesn't know who he is." Kind of funny, you know. You have to be there, I suppose.
Have you ever used the line yourself?
Have I ever used it? No.
Do you know?
Never. Because I know who I am.
Darren?
No, never. I don't believe anyone really ever uses that line.
Oh, they do.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. I've heard people use it. I won't use any names, but I've definitely heard people use it. No, I would never use it because I don't perceive to be anybody other than, you know, just a regular kind of guy doing a job, to being the jammiest person in the world, really.
Now, I don't want to go down it too far, but I want to talk about the press for a minute, because you've both been in the papers, you both followed. It's the thing that makes you. Darren, first of all, in The Sun the other week, they were on about you doing a show in London and competing with Ronan Keating or something. Is it true?
Yeah, that's probably the only true thing that I've read about myself this year, at least. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Who's going to get it, you or Ronan?
Hey, I don't know. It's up to the producers. I'd like to wish Ronan all the best, though, with us. But no, it's you know, it's just down to, you know, with I'd love to do it. It's a part I'd love to do, Billy Liar. I'd love to give it a go. I'd love to kind of go to Broadway, and, you know, I could kind of die peacefully and happily then just to do Broadway one time. But what will be. I've become very philosophical, and you know, I think fate. I kind of put everything into the hands of fate. I've been a lucky boy, you know. I've worked pretty much non-stop for 7.5 years, and that's a nice role. So. Whatever happens now, I guess it's hair rolls, chicken rolls, chicken turkey rolls.
You're married to one of the nicest ladies in show business, Linda Lucardi. You were here at Christmas. Both of you have done Christmas here. Do you like Nottingham?
I do like Nottingham. You know, I mean, a lot of people, it's easy to say, oh yeah, great place, but this is a great place. It's got a nice feel about it. We had a really successful season here, and as we were told, we put more bums on seats during the panto season than any show has ever done in the history of this theatre, which is quite nice. So we blew the box office records out the water. So much so that we're taking.
You broken my one.
We did. We whacked it, mate. We whacked it. But if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. And that's what we're doing this year. We're taking the whole show, the whole panto, down to Wimbledon this year and doing the same show. And hopefully we'll have the same success
with Lionel.
With Lionel, yeah, good old Lionel. It was a great show. It was a great show.
It was great fun, and you were here with great expectations, which was completely different to pantomime.
Yeah, it was about six years ago now, I think I was here. Yeah, I do love Nottingham. It kind of brings back fond memories for me, because Brian Glover, bless his heart, who was playing Magwitch in Great Expectations, who's sadly no longer with us. We used to get very drunk in a pub just across the road, and there was a song that he used to try and sing in the show that bless Brian, he was a fantastic actor, but he wasn't a singer. There was a song in the show that he used to have to sing called The Man in the Sky, and he could never get it in tune, but he got it in tune bang on at 3:30 in the morning, standing pissed in the middle of the road. Let me tell you, he sang it better than he ever sang it. I said to him, have a few jars before you go on stage. In fact, phone it in from the middle of the road. Put your mic up in the middle of the road.
Fantastic.
He was great. So it brings back some very happy memories, and it's a pretty little. We've played a lot of towns and a lot of cities on this tour, and so you kind of it's really nice when you come somewhere nice, and you know, not just saying it, not
I don't know
really
if
nice.
describe it. It's like a wholesome place, you know. You go around and there's every age group, and there's no kind of aggression or oppression about the place, you know. It just seems a free place to go around, and you know, I just like the place. It feels like home. I think maybe I was one of the merry men in a previous life or something.
Men in tights.
How do you cope with the fact that you're well known and people start harassing you? How do you cope with that, Darren?
Do you know the time you get recognised most is when you just pick the bog rolls off of the shelf in Sainsbury's or something?
That's so true.
Isn't it? Like,
So can I tell you a story? This is a weird story. I was doing panto in Wolverhampton with a guy called John Paul Matthews, who's Gaz's brother-in-law.
Oh, yeah.
And we were in Wolverhampton. We were going around Marks and Spencer's. Now, he was playing the part of Daddy Bear, right? So he had a skin on, a big head, like you can imagine Bungle. That's what he was. We walked in Marks and Spencer's. This woman come up to him and went, "You played Daddy Bear, didn't you?" And he was just like,
Yeah.
"How do you know? How did you?" Weird.
All I'd like to say is there any chance I could park my car outside the theatre? That'd be fantastic. Can we get a petition up or something? But look, I'm gone Saturday, it's too late, isn't it?
He's a big lad, though, isn't he? He's about 9
One,
foot 6.
one of them's big and one of them's small. One of them's a little one, one's very lanky.
He is a very big boy.
Very big boy.
You do know, being a journalist, I am going to go and interview him afterwards, don't you? Get his side of the story. It'd only be right.
Once again, I think you're mistaking me for someone who gives a shit.
Got to ask you, what's it like being married to Linda Lucardi? I was with her over Christmas in the pantomime interview. You had a new child then.
Right.
Well, what is it like? I mean, she
What
got
do you
so
mean?
many guys through puberty.
Did she?
Did she get you through puberty? I don't know.
Well, she still get me through it, but hey, she's just my wife, you know. I mean, what am I going to say? She's the most fantastic woman in the world. I am the luckiest man in the world. You know, to actually make a dream come true, to marry the woman of your dreams is no mean feat, is it? And well, what can I say? That's it. She's the mother of my children. She's fantastic. She's the best.
Do you miss her when you're on tour?
Drives me crazy. Yeah. I'm going home tonight actually because I can't be away from her. I'm going to travel for the rest of the week because we're going to be away for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of places. I think the nearest we get to here now is we do Birmingham, don't we, later on in the year,
last one, yeah.
and Buxton as well. It's kind of as close as we get, and I'm going to be away for a long time. Just seeing her at weekends, so I'm going to be home as much as I can.
Final question. I need to ask you about the good guys in show business not being on the telly anymore. I see you guys occasionally. Why don't we see more of you?
Well, basically, for me, I did my 3 years with London Weekend and presenting stuff, and to be honest with you, presenting is not really my bag. It's not really what I don't think I'm particularly good at it. I think I can blag it okay, but so I kind of didn't really want to do the presenting anymore. And there's a couple of dramas and things like that coming up for next year, and that's what I'd really like to do, is to act on TV. So yeah, that's my story. Hey,
You do better on TV. Basically, this, you know, I mean, we're busy doing this kind of thing, and
it kind of
schedule-
takes it. I mean, when you're doing eight, I mean, I've done 8 shows a week pretty much now for 7.5 years. You know, with the odd kind of couple of weeks in between to do recording of an album or a TV series or whatever. But it takes away. Although it's only sort of 2.5, 3 hours of the day, it takes your whole life away, you know.
Well, you can't get to the destinations you need to be because, you know, simply because of the logistics. You're on tour, you can't get back to the TV stations, and you know the schedules of the TV stations are you're there and you're their property, and you can't have a deadline to get away because there are no deadlines in TV acting.
Does TV get on your nerves? I mean, are you happier touring in a show like this?
To be perfectly honest with you, I'm getting to the stage now where I don't want to tour for a while. I've toured on and off for 7.5 years, and to begin, I can remember when I first went on tour. You know, it was really exciting living out of a suitcase, being, you know, having your bed made and phoning down at 3 o'clock in the morning for some room service or whatever. But it kind of, I think the older you get, I mean, especially for Sam with a family, but even me, because I bought a new house now, and I kind of want to be in my house, and I you know, so. I think the only thing that I'd say is I like the immediacy of theatre, whereby you do a TV series, and unless it's live, like you put it in the can, whether it's a drama or you know, a presenting job, and you put it in the can and you have to wait for months and months before you know how it's going to be received by the public and the media. Whereby with theatre and with live stuff, you know, you get the immediacy of the reaction, you get the reviews the next day, and it's all there. I kind of like that.
Makes a lot of sense.
You're making yourself sound so old.
Hey, I'm 32 now, man. It's slipping away.
You're going to be telling me you like Jeremy Spake's Airport next?
No, I'm not.
He's doing
Jeremy Spake, yeah, that's right.
He's doing pants. Where's he doing pants?
Southend with Shane.
What's the world coming to? He's actually a really nice guy, but what is the world coming to? But the thing is, it's like Darren says, you know, doing tours and stuff, and television's great because you can actually assess what you're up to. You know, you haven't actually done a lot of acting on telly, have you? It's been mostly like front work, hasn't it? But
totally.
That's the difference with this, because you can give yourself notes when you go on telly. You know, you watch it back and you think, that was crap, I'll change that. You know, and it does actually, if you're kind of conscientious that way and self-critical, it makes you a better performer. But you can never really compare the two.
Nice to talk to you. Good luck.
Cheers, mate.
See you soon.
Cheers,